to talk gave me the courage to leave the home. Today's subject is Maya. Actually, many times, the young age I used to think I should leave the home, go around, live a sannyas life. Suddenly, one day, when I was reading one of the Shankara's work on this Maya, somehow the concept clicked. The word Maya cannot be translated into English. Thinking the lesser reality as the higher reality is what we call Maya. What you are seeing, you can't say this is illusion. No, this is not ultimate. Your understanding this is ultimate is illusion. The moment the click happened, I was ready not only to leave the house, decided to live like a Shankara. In the Vedic tradition, anybody wants to become enlightened has to leave their home. They have to become homeless. It is a basic condition for enlightenment. You can't be in your hometown. You have to start wandering, studying, because to enter into the ultimate truth, you need to have the courage to go behind wherever it leads. There is a beautiful sutra in Brahma Sutra, the first sutra of Brahma Sutra. It says, Atato Brahma Jignasat. Let us inquire into the reality. It says, only a courageous person who is ready to go behind wherever truth leads can enter into this science. In those days, we had a beautiful system. When somebody becomes enlightened, he will go around and sit with all other scholars, pandits, learned people, and he will open up his understanding. The other person will open up his understanding. Whoever can take the other person to the deeper level of understanding will follow him. That's all. That is why exploring the truth into the deeper and deeper level has been made as a compulsory basic value for anybody who wants to explore the reality, explore into the truth. What we need to understand from this story, courage to go behind the truth, wherever it leads. Even they are ready to gamble with their life, but they are ready for truth. If you accept or start working on the reality, whatever you see can be Maya. It feels as if the ground on which you are standing is opening or giving way, is taken away. It needs courage. It may suddenly open a new door to you. You must be able to go into the door, only then you can see the next door. Because I am trying to reproduce the same understanding and experience which happened in me. Understand? When I understood that Maya, the concept of Maya, it gave me so much of joy and courage to do anything. I decided I will live like a Shankara. There is every possibility you will catch the glimpse. I am not telling you will run away from a home. You will have the same energy and excitement and liberation when you realize this truth. If this one concept Maya is understood logically by you, no suffering can make low curve in you. Nobody can exploit you easily. If you can just open that courage, this understanding can open new doors for you. If you understand this clearly, you will have the courage. If you have little courage, you will have understanding. It's like a circle. Who will start first?
I represent KAILASA nation led by Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Sri Nithyananda Paramashivam, which speaks on behalf of 2 billion Hindus around the world who do not have a voice representing them in these international forums.
All right, I'll start from my side first. I'll give the understanding. Let you add courage to it. Let's enter into the sutra. Illusions deceive, colors circumscribe, even divisibles are indivisible. Look, become Shiva.
Since the beginning of time and space, Bhagwan Paramashiva, the all-powerful, all-pervasive, and all-knowing ultimate superconscious existence, revealed in the Vedas and Agamas, the source scriptures of Hinduism, the truths about himself and the manifested universe and its multidimensional and simultaneously existing dimensions and worlds, also known as parallel universes or vertical time zones.
त्रुट्यानि प्रत्ययस्यार्थ कालो माया समुद्भवः. The Kala Tattva, which gives rise to the knowledge of various time zones and parallel universes such as Truti and others, is originated by Ananteshwara from the impure Maya.
Bhagwan Paramashiva mentions that as we experience the various higher states of consciousness, we simultaneously experience the various time zones associated with them. We get transported to the parallel universes and experience the other dimensions of our own existence, of our own personality.
Listen, Subarloka is all about stable bliss, absolute health and stable bliss. Maharloka is all about the highest peak possibilities. Jana Loka is the place where you can exist in multiple bodies at a time. You experience oneness as the super reality. Tapa Loka is that last struggle you go through. Sometimes you know you are Paramashiva, sometimes you just slip off, but again you say, I am Paramashiva. That space is the Tapoloka, an absolute surrender. Whether I am remembering, I am manifesting Paramashivatva, or I am deluded, I surrender both to Paramashiva. When you take that decision, you are lifted to Brahmaloka. You move to the Brahmaloka. The deep surrender lifts you to Brahmaloka. Then from there, you move to Parandama, Vaikunta, and Kailasa, then Mahakailasa itself.
The key to unlock these parallel universes is hidden in the spine of the human body.
Human beings, only human beings on this planet Earth are empowered, hardwired, capable of migrating to parallel universe. Understand? Your spine is not only hardwired, capable of fuel, charged to lift you off to different parallel universes.
Sukritan manavo bhutva jnani chen mokshamapnuyat chaturashita-laksheshu sharireshu sharirinam namanushyam vina yatra tattvahanantu labhyate. Of the 8.4 million bodily forms, the human body is the most important, for it is this form in which one gets knowledge of the essence. This knowledge of essence cannot be attained in any other form other than human.
The possibility you have need to be told to you. Understand? Even though animals have spine, because the majority of the time they spend horizontally, the spine is not capable of getting fuel with a subtle fuel called ojas. the ojas need to be filled in your spine and the kundalini need to be ignited for you to reach parallel universe and different vertical time zone spaces.
When our state of consciousness is raised, we start experiencing these higher lokas, allowing the various possibilities and powers available in these universes to start expressing in our own human body.
Recently, scientists have discovered that the human body, particularly in the brain, naturally produces light in the form of biophotons, and that when our state of consciousness is lifted, the brain moves from producing a normal 20 photons of light per centimeter square per second to more than 100,000 photons of light per second. That shows us that as we start to experience higher and higher states of consciousness, we start to produce huge amount of light, which is directly proportional and translatable to the amount of possibilities and powers that start to manifest on this plane, as well as the freedom from pains and sufferings experienced by beings in lower states of consciousness.
These higher lokas gives you various possibilities, powers. For example, imagine, visualize you going to a different country where the electronic gadgets are easily, freely available. So naturally, everything you can gain through the electronic gadgets will be available to you freely. Same way, Kamadhenu, Karpaga Vriksha, Parijata, all these are like different gadgets, possibilities available in different lokas. Please understand, a permanent, irreversible power manifestation from the upper lokas is possible.
Once these possibilities and powers start to express in the human body on the Bhuloka, our present plane, we reach a point of no return, where the cognitive shift which happens in us about who we are and what is the reality hidden behind this perceivable world frees us from the deluded ideas we have about ourselves and the life in the cosmos.
The moment your consciousness is empowered to access and to exist in the parallel universe, no force in this Bhuloka, planet Earth, can torture you, abuse you, suffocate you. It is irreversible, permanent enlightenment, irreversible, permanent empowerment.
In the source scriptures of Hinduism, the Vedas and Agamas, Bhagwan Paramashiva reveals about the importance of being initiated by a guru who is fit of giving initiation for us to raise into the various states of consciousness and experience the higher time zones.
The potency of Anavamala, which veils the innate and essential nature of the soul, is set into the decaying phase by this specific activity. Such specific activity is characteristically called Diksha. The intimate communion between the Blessed One and the Blessing One is very rare and difficult to occur.
The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Jagat Guru Mahasannidhanam, His Divine Holiness Bhagwan Nithyananda Paramashivam, is the 1008th incarnation of Paramashiva as per Hinduism, living amidst us today. Starting out at a young age and enduring years of intense penance, he persevered with the single-pointed vision of experiencing the ultimate oneness with Paramashiva, known as Paramadvaita. He traversed the length and breadth of India, initiated by his gurus into yoga, tantra, and other Eastern metaphysical sciences. After having
as Paramashiva, inhale and exhale deeply with 25 heads and 75 eyes and 50.
The brain is the body's most complex organ, containing more than 100 billion neurons, each of them in chemical and electrical conversation with up to 10,000 other neurons. Its sheer capacity to process the various happenings of life is astonishing. The scientific studies on the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism's brain remarkably show that the complexity presents no difficulty for the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism in managing his brain's activity. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism's capacity to control his brain is very fluid. He can easily shift his brain function and alter his brain waves, allowing the travel into various time zones possible and effortless. The results from the scientific studies conducted on the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism showed that the human body and brain is able to choose to alter the body and to travel to other dimensions at will. The possibility for people to experience the healing capabilities as well as the higher states of consciousness is an event of immense benefit for humankind. The science of altering the rates and progression of many physical diseases, mental instabilities, and ultimately the superconscious breakthrough has now been made available and achievable for today's humanity.
The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is a bridge between the visible and the invisible. He is also a bridge between the age-old world of mysticism and the modern world of science and discovery. As brain research continues on a widespread basis, and as we appropriately bring the phenomena of mysticism into the realm of science for further study, we are taking strides on the path of physical and mental health as well as superconsciousness.
I'm going to empower, enlighten each and every one of you with the fuel and energy of the parallel universe. It can make you tireless forever. It can just kill the boredom once and for all in your life. It can just make you manifest third eye power right now. You may experience intense levitation right now. You may experience absolute flexibility of the body and complete detoxification, a complete healing right now. There can be multiple possibilities. I'll infuse this intense supernal effulgence DNA, Tejas, Ojas, Kundalini Shakti into your spine to consciously lift you to KAILASA.
We welcome all the Paramashivoham participants to the first session of the day, Nithyananda Yoga. Let us all now settle down on the mats and sit in a comfortable Cossack position with our head, neck and spine in a straight line, hands in Namaskara Mudra in front of the heart center as we chant the Satguru Vandanam.
Nithyanandam Paramasukhadam Kevalam Jnanamurtim Dvandvatītam Gaganasadrusham Tattvamasyaadilaksham Ekam Nityam Vivalamachalam Sarvadhi Sakshibhutam Bhavatītam Trigunarahitam Sadgurum Tam Namami.
Next, we will chant the Shiva Mula Mantra. Om Ham Haum Shivaya Namaha. 11 times, please follow along internally.
Om Ham Hum Shivaya Namaha. Om Ham Hum Shivaya Namaha. Om Ham Hum Shivaya Namaha. Om Ham Hum Shivaya Namaha.
ॐ हां हौं शिवाय नमः 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 ॐ हां हौं शिवाय नमः.
Next, we are going to perform the Tattvachamanam, the ritualistic cleansing. Now, take your Panchapadram and Udani, the cup with a spoon with some water, and keep your right hand in the Gokarna Mudra in the shape of a cow's ear, as our Acharya is demonstrating. Take one Udani of water and pour it into your right palm. Each time the word Swadha is chanted, sip the water from the bottom of your palm for a total of 3 times.
ॐ आत्मतत्त्वं शोधयामि स्वधा ॐ विद्यातत्त्वं शोधयामि स्वधा ॐ शिवतत्त्वं शोधयामि स्वधा.
Now wash your right hand with the water from the Panchavatam and wipe your lips twice with the bottom of your right thumb as we chant.
ॐ हां हृदयाय नमः.
Now wash your hand again. With your index, middle and ring finger joined together, touch above your upper lip and below the lower lip. Wash your hand again. With index and thumb together, touch your right nostril and your left nostril. With ring finger and thumb, touch your right eye, right ear and left ear. Then wash your hand again. With your little finger and thumb, touch your navel, your right chest and the left chest. And with the tips of all your fingers, touch the crown of your head, the right shoulder, the left shoulder, and your heart center. Wash your hand once more. Now clasp your right hand over the left and place both your hands on your right thigh. Sit with your head, neck, and spine in a straight line. Close your eyes and set the sankalpa. Make a conscious declaration to existence what you want to manifest in today's Nithyananda Yoga session, the ritual of yoga, as we chant the sankalpa mantra.
ॐ ममोपात्त समस्त दुरितक्षयद्वारा भगवत् श्री नित्यानंद परमशिव प्रीत्यर्थम श्री नित्यानंदेश्वरी परमशिव शक्ति समेत श्री नित्यानंदेश्वर परमशिव प्रीत्यर्थम च अद्य पूर्वोक्त एवं गुण विशेषेण विशिष्टायाम् अस्यां शुभतिथौ पूर्ण आरोग्य युक्त दृढ़गात्र यौगिक शरीर सिद्ध्यर्थम परमशिव शक्ति आविष्करणार्थम नित्यानंद योगाभ्यासं करिष्ये.
Wash your right hand once more.
ओम अपौपस्पृश्य
And keep Panchavatam and Udani aside. Let us briefly go over the components of KAILASA Nithyananda Yoga. The context of Nithyananda Yoga is to awaken the Kundalini Shakti and make you manifest Paramashivatva, the realization of Paramashivoham, that you indeed are Paramashiva, the divine, the ultimate. For this, we are performing asanas, physical postures, aligning our bodies to Paramashiva, performing pranayamas, the breathing techniques, controlling the inhalation, retention, and exhalation of the breath in a specific manner, infusing the prana into the system, and aligning our breathing to Paramashiva. Mudras, by aligning our limbs, fingers, various other body parts, sometimes even the tongue, we create energy circuits and align our intra-organs, our energetic organs to Paramashiva, like third eye, Vak, and Anandagandha. The next component is Bandha. As we contract certain muscles and diaphragms within the body, we prevent the prana from seeping out and forcefully pull it up along the spine to the higher chakras, and then again hold it in the high energy centers. The bandhas we are going to perform are of various kinds. First, the Mula Bandha, the root lock, contracting the perineal floor and pulling it up. Ujjana Bandha, the abdominal lock, pulling the stomach in and up towards the spine as you contract your stomach muscles above and below the navel. And Jalandhara Bandha, the throat lock, tucking your chin to the chest and internally locking your throat. The Mula Bandha prevents the Kundalini Shakti from seeping out at the bottom of the spine. Uddiyana Bandha pumps it upwards along the spine, and the Jalandhara Bandha prevents it from falling down again. This way, if all the three bandhas are performed together, it's an intense technique for Kundalini awakening called Mahamudra Bandha. Next is Karana, the sacred dance postures preserved throughout the temples in India, carved in stone, moving your body parts in synchronicity, aligning your body movements to the cosmic body movements leads to intense awareness in every part of your body and a subtle breath, which is intensely infusing prana into the system. The next component is visualization. Throughout the asanas, we're going to project certain visualizations on screen. Please visualize these intensely and manifest the essence of the asana even more deeply, aligning your thinking to Paramashiva, manifesting Mano Shakti, the power of thought. The next component is japa, the internal repetition of mantras. We are going to project certain japas on screen, repeatedly chant them internally, visualizing that they are rotating around your throat. Cleanse your Vishuddhi chakra and manifest the power of speech, vak, as you align your speech to Paramashiva. During the yoga practice, your aura is opening up and you're receptive to external energies. So please make sure you're performing the ritual of yoga in a clean, sacred space. We are providing the high energy field by our Acharya here, chanting the sacred Sanskrit mantras, the scripture references for the asanas, and the words of Mahadeva himself. Sanskrit has a phonetic, powerful effect. So even just listening to the Sanskrit mantras will create the effect in your system. The next component is weightlifting. If you have weights available, keep them at the side of your mat, and we are going to inform you in which asana it is advisable to lift weights during the exercise more intensely, activating the Kundalini Shakti for this practice. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism says, bodybuilding is a spiritual practice and it is not limited to male bodies. So even the female bodies, don't feel discouraged to implement weights into your yoga practice. Next is mandala. You can see in the background of our acharyas, we are projecting the Shri Yantra, the visual representation of all the gods and goddesses. Intensely but gently gaze at the yantra and reflect the macrocosmic energies into your microcosmos, as the Shri Yantra holds various different energies, all the energies which are present in the entire universe. Next up is Abharanam. Wearing Rudraksha beads during the yoga practice makes you hold the high energy space, as Rudraksha beads function like a spiritual battery, holding onto the energy for a long time and bit by bit giving it off to your system. So keep skin contact with Rudraksha. The final component is Aushadha, the sacred alchemy products. By applying them on your skin or ingesting them, you can infuse prana into your system and healing even the most chronic diseases. The Aushadhas we recommend are Vibhuti and Kumkum. Or the male bodies, please remove your upper cloth and apply the Vibhuti on 16 places over your body. For the female bodies, please apply it on your forehead. Apply the Kumkum on your third eye, your Angya chakra, the space between the eyebrows. And if you have any sandalwood paste, you can mix it with some turmeric powder and water and apply it on your temples. If any other Aushadha prepared by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is available to you, you can also apply these during the yoga practice. With this, let us now get ready for Nithyananda Yoga. As we enter the first asana of the sequence, which is Sukhasana, sit in a comfortable cross-legged position with your head, neck and spine in a straight line. Keep your hands on top of the knees in Bindu Mudra, index fingers and thumbs together. Visualize Lord Shiva in your inner space. Breathe in Samana Kumbhaka, inhale deeply and hold your breath. Visualize a flame being kindled in your stomach, rising up your spine. Engage all trivandhas, root lock, abdominal lock and throat lock in Mahamudra Bandha, and internally chant the Japa Soham.
तत्सुखासनमित्युक्तमशक्तस्तत्समाचरेत् आसनं विजितं येन जितं तेन जगत्त्रयम्.
Next up is Parvatasana. Now, place your feet onto opposite thighs in Padmasana, and then join your hands in Anjali Mudra, raising your arms up with your elbows straight. Engage all trivandhas and visualize yourself as Mount Kailash.
अथ वक्षे महादेव पर्वतासनमङ्गलं यत्कृत्वा स्थिररूपी स्यात् षट्चक्रादिविलोपनम्.
Next up is Halipavasana. Now, extend your feet away from the body. Join the soles of the feet together as you interlock your fingers behind your back in Parasha Mudra and lean forward and down, placing your forehead on the ground behind your heels. Gaze to your nose, engage Mahamudra Bandha, and visualize Swamiji in your inner space.
पूरवविधियाहू मे जानो उभयपकतली सम्पुटठानो पिष्टपच्छेदो वो करल्यावो दक्षिणकरसो वामगहावो.
Next up is Nagi Pavasana. Now keep the soles of the feet together and extend your arms out in front of you. As you cup your palms and place them on the ground in front of the feet, bring your forehead on the ground, gaze to your nose, engage your trivandhas, and visualize yourself as a snake.
पूर्वविधिपर्यागाने नीचौहौ वीकहूनि फनास्यौ लगाई हाथ आगाने धरती लगावे पसारी दो हाथ की अंजोली करे.
Now hold on to the big toes in Prana Mudra with index and middle fingers. Then stretch your legs forward and up, and then cross them into Padmasana. Lean forward and down, place your elbows on the ground, engage all trivandhas and visualize yourself as a bird in Kokilasana.
अथान्यदासनं वक्षे येन सिद्धो भवेन्नरः.
Next up is Nityasana. Now sit in Ardha Padmasana with your knees and ankles stacked. Hold on to opposite elbows and start rotating your arms in a circular motion as you gaze to the tip of the nose, engage all trivandhas, and every once in a while change the direction of the movement as you visualize Swamiji in your inner space.
घोड़ा बामा पादकी आशा माहिली सोज दक्ष चरण को बार लौता परिकुल्फ समोज.
The next asana is Gajasana. Now place your hands flat on the ground, shoulder width apart, and raise your hips up high. Then scoop your head and chest forward and down again and again as you engage Uddiyana Bandha, the abdominal lock, and Mula Bandha, the root lock. Visualize yourself as an elephant.
निजं पादाग्रे भूमौ कृत्वा लम्बी भूया मस्तकाग्रे निधाय.
Next up is a Rikshasana from the same posture. Now press one heel into the ground and lift the other heel up, alternating the position of the feet again and again as you engage Uddiyana Bandha and Mula Bandha and visualize yourself as a bear.
एकैकं पादमाकुञ्च्य गजासनं कुर्यात् रक्षासनं भवति.
Now rise up and stand on the tips of the big toes if you can. Bring your hands to the chest in Hridaya Mudra with index, middle and ring fingers joined together. Engage Uddiyana Bandha and Mula Bandha and visualize Swamiji in your inner space.
केशेन पादयुगलं बद्ध्वा तिष्ठेत धोमुखः अथवा ईश्यावक्षे यत्कृत्वा सत्यवान् भवेत्.
Next up is Urdhva Janu Karana, the first Karana of the sequence. Now stand in Arimandi posture. Heels together, toes pointing outwards and the knees bent. Remember, Arimandi, we're going to perform it throughout various karanas in this sequence. Now bring your hands to the chest and raise one knee up along the center of the body and follow along with the respective hand on both sides again and again. The next asana is Balalingasana. Now, interlock your fingers from the outside in Sarva Shankari Mudra and pull one knee up against your chest as you stand erect on the mat like a rod. Engage Orthivandhas and visualize yourself holding a baby.
एकं जानुरसि आलिङ्ग्य स्थातव्यं बाललिङ्गनं भवति.
Next up is Parapidanasana. Now pull the foot behind towards your buttocks, holding it with both hands as you engage Orthivandhas and visualize Swamiji in your inner space.
स्थित्वैकस्मिन् पादतले कराभ्यां वेष्टयेत्तनुं पृष्ठे संस्थाप्य यत्नेन पादपीडनमासनम्.
Now hold the sole of the foot from the inside and kick the leg back and up. As you lean forward, extend your other hand in Bindu Mudra, engaging the Mula Bandha and visualizing yourself as Lord Nataraja in Natarajasana.
उत्तानपादं क्रौञ्चं च मरीचिं वीरभद्रकं नटराजं त्रिकोणं च सुप्ताङ्गुष्ठप्रसारणे.
Now pull the other knee up against your chest. Repeat Balalingasana on the other side. Engage your Orthivandhas and visualize yourself holding a baby.
एकं जानु उरसि आलिङ्ग्य स्थातव्यं बाललिङ्गनं भवति.
Now take the foot, pull it behind towards your buttocks. Engage Orthivandhas and visualize Swamiji in Parapidanasana.
स्थित्वैकस्मिन् पादतले कराभ्यां वेष्टयेत्तनुं पृष्ठे संस्थाप्य यत्नेन पादपीडनमासनम्.
Now hold the sole of the foot and kick it back and up as you lean forward, repeating Natarajasana on the other side as you visualize yourself performing the cosmic dance as Lord Nataraja.
उत्तानपादं क्रौञ्चं च मरीचिं वीरभद्रकं नटराजं त्रिकोणं च सुप्ताङ्गुष्ठप्रसारणे.
We move on to Ardharishtakarana. Stand in Arimandi posture. Heels together, toes pointing outwards and knees bent with your hands at the chest. Then step the right foot behind the left and swing the right arm back and forth like a pendulum, gracefully moving your fingers. Now cover your nose with your hand, uncross your ankles and repeat the movement on the other side. Next up is the skeleton dance. Now visualize your bone structure and shake your body intensely. Dance wildly as you hold on to the visualization of your skeleton. You're just a skeleton. There's no muscles, no blockages, just bones. And shake your bones. Next up is Katichinakarana. From the Arimandi posture, cross your arms above your head with the palms facing back. Now turn your body to one side, open up your arms above the head, cross them back to the center, and repeat the movement again and again on both sides. Next up is Tadasana. Now stand on the tips of your toes and raise your arms up above your head. Keep the arms parallel, palms facing each other as you engage all Trivandhas. Visualize yourself as a palm tree and internally chant the new japa, Shivoham.
महामुद्राबद्धकोनो ताडासन विभेदकान् विनोत्तानं सदा कुर्यात् अन्तर्पत्नीपतिप्रिया.
The next asana is Uttanasana. From a standing position, lean forward and down, and place your hands flat on the ground if you can. Engage all the wonders. Visualize Swamiji in your inner space. And keep breathing in Samana Kumbhaka as you visualize the flame rising up your spine.
महामुद्राबद्ध कोनो ताडासन विभेदकान् विनोत्तानं सदा कुर्यात् अंतर्वत्नीपति प्रिया.
Next up is Tadaksvasana. Now place your hands flat on the ground, shoulder width apart, and step your feet back into a tall plank position. Contract the perineal floor, Mula Bandha, and tuck your chin to the chest, Jalandhara Bandha. As you rotate your head from side to side, visualize Swamiji in Tadaksvasana.
गजासनवस्थित्वा मस्तकं वारं वारं दक्षिणकुक्षिं सव्यकुक्षिं नयेत्.
Now lower your body down onto your stomach. Keep your hands next to your chest and point your toes back as you lift your head and chest up by the strength of your lower back. Open your mouth widely in Bhujangani Mudra, inhaling through the hollow of your throat as you visualize yourself as a cobra in Bhujangasana.
अंगुष्ठनाभिपर्यन्तम् अधो भूमौ विनिन्यसेत् कराभ्यां च धरां धृत्वा ऊर्ध्वशीर्षफणीवहि.
Next up is Shashasana. Now push your body back up into the plank position and alternate pulling one knee in towards your chest back and forth. As you breathe calmly through your nose in Sahadra Kumbhaka, leading the prana along your spine and holding the breath every once in a while, holding the prana in the various chakras of your body individually. Now visualize Swamiji in your inner space.
गजासन संस्थितो एक जानुद्वयमाकुञ्च्य वारं वारं कर्तव्यं शशासनं भवति.
Next up is Rathasana. From the same position, step one foot in between your hands. Now jump the front foot back and bring the other foot in between the hands again and again as you visualize yourself as a chariot.
गजासन संस्थितो एकैकं पादं पुरोमार्गेण भ्रामयित्वा कर्तव्यं रथासनं भवति.
Now rise up with one leg extended forward and the other foot far back, toes facing sideways. Now bend the front knee at a 90-degree angle. Push your hips so they are facing forward. Engage Uddiyana Bandha and Mula Bandha. Raise your arms up parallel above your head. As you gaze to your third eye, engage Uddiyana Bandha and Mula Bandha and visualize yourself as Lord Veerabhadra in Veerabhadrasana.
वासिष्ठमथ कौण्डिन्यम् ऊर्ध्वकुक्कुटमेव च अष्टावक्रमथोत्थानं मयूरं सेतुबन्धनम्.
Now repeat Veerabhadrasana on the other side. Exchange the position of your feet. Bend your front knee and raise your arms up. Gaze up and visualize yourself as Lord Veerabhadra.
वासिष्ठमथ कौण्डिन्यम् ऊर्ध्वकुक्कुटमेव च अष्टावक्रमथोत्थानं मयूरं सेतुबन्धनम्.
Next up is Vrikshasana. Now raise the sole of one foot against the inner opposite thigh. Join your hands in Anjali Mudra and raise them up above your head. Keep your elbows straight, engage Uddiyana Bandha and Mula Bandha and visualize yourself as a tree.
वामोरुमूलदेशे च याम्यं पादं निधायतु तिष्ठेत् वृक्षवद्भूमौ वृक्षासनमिदं विदुः.
Now bring the raised foot on top of the opposite thigh. Join your hands in Namaskara Mudra in front of the heart center. As you visualize yourself as Lord Garuda in Garudasana.
गरुडासनमावक्षे येन ध्यानं स्थिरं भवेत् सर्वदोषाद्विनिर्मुक्तो भवतीह महाबली.
Now repeat Vrikshasana, the tree posture on the other side. Raise your arms up above your head. Engage all the wonders. Breathe calmly through your nose in Sahadra Kumbhaka.
वामोरुमूलदेशे च याम्यं पादं निधायतु तिष्ठेत् वृक्षवद्भूमौ वृक्षासनमिदं विदुः.
Now repeat Garudasana on the other side. Bring the other foot on the opposite thigh. Join your hands in Namaskara Mudra. Visualize yourself as Lord Garuda with big wings on your back.
गरुडासनमावक्षे येन ध्यानं स्थिरं भवेत् सर्वदोषाद्विनिर्मुक्तो भवतीह महाबली.
The next asana is Trikonasana. Now step one foot forward and the other foot far back, keeping the back toes facing sideways. Send your arms parallel to the ground and lean forward and down. Place one hand at the foot and the other hand pointing up towards the sky as you gaze up along the raised arm and visualize yourself as a triangle.
उत्तानपादं क्रौञ्चं च भरीचिं वीरभद्रकं नटराजं त्रिकोणं च सुप्ताङ्गुष्ठप्रसारणे.
Now rise back up, rotate your feet and lean down to the other side. Gaze up as you repeat Trikonasana, the triangle posture.
उत्तानपादं क्रौञ्चं च भरीचिं वीरभद्रकं नटराजं त्रिकोणं च सुप्ताङ्गुष्ठप्रसारणे.
Next up is Nikutakakarana. From Arimandi posture, heels together, toes pointing outwards and your knees bent. Raise one heel off the ground and bring your hands in front of the chest with the palms facing each other. Now stomp the raised heel to the ground, lift the other heel up and exchange the position of your hands again and again. We move on to Angushtasana. Now lower your body down onto raised heels. Keep the toes tucked. Join your hands in Namaskara Mudra in front of your chest. As you keep the knees off the ground, join together. Visualize Swamiji in your inner space and start buzzing like a bee on the inhalation and exhalation in Brahmari Kumbhaka as you internally chant the new japa Sadashivoham.
कबन्धासनमित्याहुः गोरक्षासनमेव च अङ्गुष्ठमुष्टिकं न्येयं ब्रह्मप्रासादितं तथा.
The next asana is Saurasana. From Angushtasana, now extend one leg forward. Keep your hands at the side, fingertips just touching the ground next to your body, with the palms facing forward in Vara Mudra. Visualize Swamiji in your inner space.
प्रसार्य एकं पादतलं संस्थाप्य त्वेकपादकम्.
Now lean forward and down, hold on to the big toe of the front foot and hold on to the back heel with the other hand. Balance in this asana as you visualize Swamiji in your inner space in Vidunanasana.
गुल्फस्थितो पादमेकं प्रसार्य तत्पादाग्रं संस्पृश्य तत्करेण.
Now extend the other leg forward, exchange the position of your feet as you repeat Saurasana on the other side with your hands at the side, palms facing forward.
प्रसार्य एकं पादतलं संस्थाप्य त्वेकपादकम्.
Now lean forward and down. Hold on to the big toe and the back heel. Repeat Vidunanasana on the other side.
गुल्फस्थितो पादमेकं प्रसार्य तत्पादाग्रं संस्पृश्य तत्करेण.
Next up is Brahmajalankushasana. Now step both your feet in, sit on raised heels, separate your legs and place your hands on top of the knees with the palms facing up. Tuck your chin to the chest in Jalandhara Bandha and gaze through the gap between the palms as you visualize Swamiji in your inner space.
दो गुफणा पानी होए वैसे एड़ी दो गुदानी वैसे कौरबक तलियां की माहिली आइस माहेरा शेमिली.
Next up is Kapilasana. Now drop your knees on the ground. Sit on raised heels with your hands on the thighs or on the knees. Gaze to the nose as you visualize yourself as Sage Kapila Muni, the founder of the Mahanirvani Peetham, and perform Udyana Bandha and Muda Bandha.
उभय पगतली समठहरावे तिनको माहिली कोर मिलावे.
Next up is Bhadragurukasana. Now Maintain the same sitting posture, but shift your gaze up towards your third eye, your visualization to Swamiji, and the bandha to the Mula bandha.
दो भू बगदली संपुट करे कोरवारली भू पर इधर है.
Next up is Suryasana. As you raise your knees off the ground, bring the soles of the feet together and separate your knees widely. Then join your hands in Padma Mudra as you raise your arms up above your head and gaze through the gap between the palm. Engage Uddiyana Bandha and Mula Bandha and visualize Lord Surya in your inner space.
दो भू बगदली संपुट करे कोरवारली भू पर इधर है.
The next asana is Mandukasana. Now bring the knees on the ground, the feet flat, and keep your hands on the knees. As you gaze up towards your third eye, visualize yourself as a frog. Press your tongue flat against the palate of your mouth in Manduki Mudra. Breathe calmly through your nose in Sahadra Kumbhaka and perform the Mula Bandha in Mandukasana.
पादतलौ पृष्ठदेशे अङ्गुष्ठे द्वे च संस्पृशेत् पादयुग्मं पुरस्कृत्य साधयेन्मण्डुकासनम्.
Next up is Uttana Mandukasana. From the same posture, now bring your hands behind your back. Hold on to opposite shoulders with your hands. Keep your elbows close to the head. Visualize yourself as a frog. Press your tongue up and gaze to your third eye as you engage Uddiyana Bandha and Mula Bandha in Uttana Mandukasana.
मण्डुकासन मध्यस्थं कूर्पराभ्यां धृतं शिरः एतद्भेकवदुत्थानम् एतदुत्थानमण्डुकम्.
Next up is Simhasana. Now cross your feet and sit on the heels. Keep your hands on top of the knees. Visualize yourself as a lion as you gaze to the nose, stick your tongue out and exhale forcefully again and again.
दक्षिणं सव्यगुल्फेण दक्षिणेन तदेतरं हस्तौ जान्मौ संस्थाप्य स्वाङ्गुलीश्च प्रसार्य च.
Next up is Bhadrasana. Now, with the knees separated, bring the soles of the feet together, toes pointing backwards, and sit on your heels. Now, cross your arms behind your back, hold on to the big toes in Prana Mudra. As you gaze to your nose, tuck your chin to the chest, and visualize Swamiji in your inner space. Return to buzzing like a bee in Brahmari Kumbhaka.
गुल्फौ च वृषणस्याधो व्युत्क्रमेण समाहितः पादाङ्गुष्ठौ कराभ्यां च धृत्वा च पृष्ठदेशतः.
The next asana is Kakabhushandi Asana. Now place your feet flat on the ground and separate your knees as you bring your arms in and around the raised knees and reach for your hands behind your back. Interlock your fingers in Parusha Mudra as you gaze to the nose and visualize yourself as a crow.
प्रथमे वेश कुक्कुटठाने दो वो हाथ पगम नीच आने.
Next up is Kani Pavasana. Now place your hands flat on the ground, shoulder width apart. Bring your knees onto your arms towards your armpits. Then raise your hips, lean forward and lift your legs off the mat, balancing on your arms as you visualize Swamiji in your inner space.
आसन को गुण आशीर्षता होई तो आछी होई.
The next asana is Kapali Asana. With your hands flat on the ground, place your head on the mat as well, forming a triangle between your hands and your head. This is going to be our first inverted posture. So if you suffer from high blood pressure or any neck or back related injuries, please consult your doctor before you perform any of the inverted postures. As you lift your legs off the ground and straighten them up all the way, gaze to your nose and visualize Swamiji in your inner space, still buzzing like a bee.
शीश शीशा धरती टेकी पकड़ो वो मिलिवा ऊंचा को करे.
Next up is Parshvamayurasana. Now, in a squatting position, keep your hands on the ground and twist your body to one side, aligning your knee and hip with your elbows. Then lean forward and down. Find balance, lift your body off the ground and extend your legs out to the side. As you gaze up towards your third eye, visualize yourself as a peacock and exhale all the way in Rechaka Kumbhaka, holding your breath in Parshvamayurasana.
मयूरं दण्डवत् कुर्यान् मायूरं दण्डनामकम्.
Now twist your body to the opposite direction. Lean forward, lift your body off the ground and balance as you visualize yourself as a peacock in Parshvamayurasana on the other side.
मयूरं दण्डवत् कुर्यान् मायूरं दण्डनामकम्.
Next up is Bhairaganathasana. Now place your hands flat on the ground and step your feet back into the plank position. Then step one foot outside the hand in between the two hands as you gaze up towards your third eye and visualize yourself as Lord Kala Bhairava.
आसन को गुण पीती जाई.
Now exchange the position of your feet. Bring the other foot in front as you gaze up and visualize yourself as Lord Kala Bhairava.
आसन को गुण पीती जाई.
The next asana is Unmukha Pitasana. Now step your feet back again and place your forearms on the ground. Walk your feet slightly forward and raise your hips. Try to bring your feet flat on the ground as you gaze up towards your third eye and visualize Swamiji in your inner space in Unmukha Pitasana.
भून्यस्तौ जानुनी हस्तौ चतुष्पदम वाङ्मुखम् उत्थापिताङ्घ्रियुगल कटिस्थलमभिरुका.
Next up is Vashishthasana. Now raise back onto your hands and lift one hand up towards the sky as you rotate your body. Engage your core intensely. Be straight as you gaze to your third eye and gaze up along the raised arm and visualize yourself as Sage Vashishta in Vashishthasana.
ऊर्ध्वकुक्कुटवासिष्ठमरीचहलमध्यकम्.
Now rotate your body in the other direction. Lift the other arm upwards as you visualize Sage Vashishta and Vashishthasana on the other side.
ऊर्ध्वकुक्कुटवासिष्ठमरीचहलमध्यकम्.
Now come to a seated position with your legs extended forward. Place your hands underneath your buttocks with the palms facing up. Gaze towards your nose as you visualize yourself as Lord Hanuman. Engage Jalandhavandha and Mudabandha and internally repeat the japa Paramashivoham in Anjani Asana.
दोबू करकी उभय हथेली कोरवारली मैले भेली.
We move on to Paschimottanasana. With your legs extended forward, now lean forward and down, hold onto the big toes in Prana Mudra, index and middle fingers. Engage all the bandhas as you bring your head down towards the knee and visualize Swamiji in your inner space.
जानु परिललाटन्तु पश्चिमं ताणमुच्यते येन केन प्रकारेण सुखं धार्यं च जायते.
Next up is Ugrasana. With your knees slightly separated, interlock your fingers behind your head and lean forward and down. Bring your head in between the knees, the elbows outside the knees. Squeeze your body intensely as you engage all the bandhas and visualize Kali in your inner space in Ugrasana.
स्वपाणिभ्यां दृढं धृत्वा जानूपरिशिरोऽन्यसेतासनोऽग्रमिदं प्रोक्तं भवेदनिलदीपनम्.
Next up is Marichyasana. Now step one heel in towards the perineum. Raise your knee and lean forward and interlock your fingers behind your back as you bring your head to the knee. Visualize yourself as Sage Marichi.
उत्तानपादं क्रौञ्चं च मरीचिं वीरभद्रकं नटराजं त्रिकोणं च सुप्ताङ्गुष्ठप्रसारणे
Now from Marichyasana, drop the raised knee to the side. Keep the heel at the perineum. As you lean forward and down, hold on to the front foot with both hands. Gaze to the nose. Exhale all the way. Visualize Swamiji and engage Mahamudra Bandha in Mahamudrasana.
महामुद्रां प्रवक्ष्यामि तन्त्रेऽस्मिन् मम वल्लभे यां प्राप्य सिद्धा सिद्धिं च कपिलाद्याः पुरागताः
Now repeat Marichyasana on the other side. Bring the other heel towards the perineum. Lean forward and down and interlock your fingers behind as you visualize yourself as Sage Marichi.
उत्तानपादं क्रौञ्चं च मरीचिं वीरभद्रकं नटराजं त्रिकोणं च सुप्ताङ्गुष्ठप्रसारणे
Next up is Mahamudrasana. On the other side, drop the knee to the side, lean forward and down, engage all the bandhas and visualize Swamiji.
महामुद्रां प्रवक्ष्यामि तन्त्रेऽस्मिन् मम वल्लभे यां प्राप्य सिद्धा सिद्धिं च कपिलाद्याः पुरागताः
Next up is Bhadrasana 2. Now, bring the soles of your feet together in front. As you hold your feet firmly with both hands, push the knees down towards the mat by the strength of your groin. Gaze up towards your third eye and visualize Swamiji in your inner space.
गुल्भौ तु वृषणस्यादः सीवन्त्याः पार्श्वयोः क्षिपेत्
Next up is Gvalipavasana. Now extend your feet away from the body. Keep the soles together and place your hands on the respective knees. Tuck your chin to the chest in Jalandhara Bandha. Gaze to the nose and visualize Swamiji in your inner space.
पूर्व चरपट चौक कक्षो सोजी वाही विदिजो कीजे सोजी
Next up is Joni Asana. Now, with the soles of the feet together, bring your heels closer towards your perineum. Hold on to the feet with your hands as you gaze to the nose and visualize the Yoni Mandala, the visual representation of Devi Paramashiva Shakti projected in the top right corner of the screen as you lean forward and down.
दो पगतली संपट करे एडी मेडके ढिंग तरे
Next up is Midakipavasana. Now extend your feet away from the body. Keep the heels of the feet together and the soles apart as you bring your forehead on the ground behind the heels and place your hands on the ground extended away from the body. Gaze to the nose and visualize Swamiji.
पूरब विधि परिपकतली संपूर्ण शोल एडी मिली राशे
Next up is Siddha Samadhi Asana. Now sit with your heels close towards the perineum, toes together and heels apart. Bring your hands underneath the shins, palms facing up, elbows on the ground, and then lean forward. Bring your toes against your throat as you gaze to the nose and visualize Lord Surya in your inner space.
दो पगदली संपुट करे 16 मेड आगा में धरे अंगुला 8 अंतर और राशे एडी को ऐसे विदिदाशे
Next up is Chinakipavasana. Now bring the feet back in towards the perineum. Separate the toes and hold the feet. Open them up like a book. Bring the palms facing up. The soles of the feet facing up. Bring your elbows on your thighs. Gaze to your nose and visualize Swamiji in your inner space.
दो पगा की एडी धरती मगिवा मेढ़ लगावे
Next up is Charapata Chokasana. Now keep the soles of the feet together and place your hands on the knees. Gently push them down towards the ground as you engage Uddiyana Bandha and Muda Bandha. Gaze to your third eye and visualize Swamiji in your inner space.
दो पगदली संपुट धारे आगा ने कर जार पसारे
The next asana is Bhairavasana. Now, twist your feet, rotate them so the toes come down to the ground and the heels are being raised up. Then place your knees on the mat and your hands on top of the knees in Bindu Mudra, index fingers and thumbs together, as you visualize yourself as Lord Kala Bhairava. Gaze to your third eye and engage Uddiyana Bandha and Mula Bandha.
गुल्भौ सम्पीड्यचान्योन्यं व्युत्क्रमेणोत्थितं शनैः
The next asana is Samanasana. Now bring one heel against the perineum and lift the sole of the other foot against your chest. Gaze up, visualize Swamiji, and hold your breath in the Muladhara chakra in Samanasana.
समानासनमावक्ष्ये सिद्धमन्त्रादिसाधनात्
Now lift your foot up over top of the respective shoulder and extend the opposite leg forward as you keep your hands at the side for balance. Gaze up towards your third eye and visualize Swamiji in Apanasana.
केवलं पादमेकं च स्कन्धे चारोप्य यत्नतः
Now bring the other heel against the perineum, lift the sole of the other foot against your chest. Repeat Samanasana on the other side.
समानासनमावक्ष्ये सिद्धमन्त्रादिसाधनात्
Now repeat Apanasana. Lift the foot over the shoulder, extend the opposite leg forward and up. Gaze up and visualize Swamiji.
केवलं पादमेकं च स्कन्धे चारोप्य यत्नतः
Now stack your knees in front of the body. Keep the heels outside the hips as you place your hand on top of the knees, interlocked in Parsha Mudra. Gaze to your nose and visualize the face of a cow. Breathe in Sitkari Kumbhaka. Press your tongue up against the palate of your mouth without touching the teeth, and hiss through your teeth as you inhale, internally chanting the new japa Om Nithyanandoham in Gomukhasana.
सव्ये दक्षिणगुल्फं तु पृष्ठपार्श्वे नियोजये दक्षिणे पितता सव्यं गोमुखं यथा
Now hold on to the big toes in Prana Mudra. Gaze to your nose. Engage Uddiyana Bandha and Mula Bandha and visualize yourself as Rishika Anasuya in Anasuyasana.
दक्षिण गोड़ों नीचे उठाने वामोंता के ऊपर आने
Now interlock your fingers behind your back in Parusha Mudra and lean forward and down. Gaze to your nose and bring your nose to the ground if you can in Anasuyasana too.
जीमणा गोदा की संधि उपरिड़ा वा गोड़ा की संधि मिलाई राशे गोड़ा सिवले पकतल्यालो वाड़वाई सुधा राशे
Next up is Garudasana too. Now bring one heel against the perineum and place the other foot flat on the ground with the knee raised against your chest. Keep your hands on the respective knees. Gaze to your nose and visualize yourself as Lord Garuda.
डाबो पगमोडी एडी माहिला गुल्फमूल द्वारनी चैदे
Now raise your perineum on top of the heel and interlock your fingers behind your neck. Twist your elbows outside the raised knee and gaze up as you visualize yourself as Sage Narada in Naradasana.
इष्टिजो वाम पगदली केरी भूपरिता ही लगा वे फेरी
The next asana is Matsya Pitakasana. Now place one foot on top of the opposite thigh and raise the opposite knee. Hold onto the shin and the big toe of the opposite leg as you gaze to your nose and visualize Matsya, the fish avatar of Lord Vishnu.
वामेन वामाङ्गुष्ठन्तु गृहीतं मत्स्य पीठकं योनि वामेन सम्पीड्य मेढ्रादुपरि दक्षिणम्
Next up is Gomukhasana on the other side. Again, stack your knees, place your hands on top of the knees, and gaze to the nose as you visualize the face of a cow.
सव्ये दक्षिणगुल्फं तु पृष्ठपार्श्वे नियोजयेत् दक्षिणेऽपि तथा सव्यं गोमुखं यथा.
Now repeat Anasuyasana. Hold onto the big toes, gaze to the nose, and engage Uddiyana Bandha and Mula Bandha.
दक्षिण गोड़ नीचे उठाने, बाहों ताके ऊपर आने.
Interlock the fingers behind your back. Lean forward and down as you bring the nose to the ground. Repeat Anasuyasana too.
जीवना गोदा की संधि, उपरिड़ा वागोड़ा की संधि.
Now repeat Garudasana too. Place one heel against the perineum, the opposite knee raised, hands on the knees, visualizing yourself as Lord Garuda.
डावो पगमोड़ी एड़ी माहिलो गुल्फ मूलद्वार नीचे दे.
Now repeat Naradasana. Sit on the heel and interlock your fingers behind your neck as you twist your elbows outside the raised knee and visualize yourself as Sage Narada.
इष्टिजुवाम पगतली केरी भूपरिता ही लगा वे फेरी.
Now repeat Matsya Pitakasana. Place the other foot on top of the opposite thigh. Hold on to the shin and the big toe of the raised knee as you gaze to your nose and visualize Matsya, the fish avatar of Lord Vishnu.
वामेन वामाङ्गुष्ठन्तु गृहीतमस्य पीठकं योनि वामेन सम्पीड्य मेढ्रादुपरि दक्षिणम्.
Now extend your legs forward and place one foot on top of the opposite thigh. Twist your elbow outside the raised knee as you place the raised hand at your neck. Place the other hand on the ground behind you and gaze up towards your third eye as you visualize Sage Matsyendana, the master of Hatha Yoga in Matsyendrasana.
उदरं पश्चिमाभासं कृत्वा तिष्ठति यत्ततः नम्राङ्गं वामपादं हि दक्षजानुपरिन्यसेत्.
Now, from Matsyendrasana, extend your front arm down towards the foot. Hold onto the big toe in Prana Mudra as you place the other hand on the respective ear, visualizing yourself as a camel in Kubasana.
आसन को गुण झोलो जाए.
Now, hold onto the front foot, place the back hand down on the ground, twist your spine even further, gaze to your third eye and visualize Sage Matsyendana, the master of Hatha Yoga in Matsyendrasana too.
मत्स्येन्द्रपीठं जठर प्रदीप्तिं प्रचण्ड रुक्मण्डल खण्डनास्त्रम्.
Now, extend both your legs and repeat Matsyendrasana on the other side. Place the other foot on the opposite thigh and twist your elbow outside the raised knee as you place your hand at your neck. If you can, step the raised foot over top of the opposite knee, intensifying the asana as you gaze to your third eye and visualizing Sage Matsyendana and Matsyendrasana.
उदरं पश्चिमाभासं कृत्वा तिष्ठति यत्ततः.
Next up is Kubasana. Now extend the front arm down towards the foot. Hold on to the big toe in Prana Mudra as you place the other hand on your ear and visualize yourself as a camel.
आसन को गुण झोलो जाए.
Now place the back hand down on the ground behind you. Twist your spine even further. Gaze up and visualize Sage Matsyendana and Matsyendrasana too.
मत्स्येन्द्रपीठं जठर प्रदीप्तिं प्रचण्ड रुक्मण्डल खण्डनास्त्रम्.
Now place your feet on opposite thighs and sit straight in Padmasana. Your hands on the knees, gaze to your nose, and visualize yourself as Lord Shiva as you breathe in Sitari Kumbhaka Press your tongue against the back of the teeth and hiss through your teeth as you inhale. Engage all the wonders and internally chant the new japa, Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham.
आसनं द्विधं प्रोक्तं पद्मं वज्रासनं तथा.
Now, cross your arms in front of the body. Hold on to the big toes in Prana Mudra, index and middle fingers. Gaze through your nose and visualize yourself as Goddess Parvati, the consort of Lord Shiva, as you still breathe in Sitali Kumbhaka in Padmasana too.
उत्तानः चरणौ कृत्वा ऊरू संस्थौ प्रयत्ततः.
Next up is Kukutasana. Now, sitting in Padmasana, bring your hands in between the legs. Place your palms flat on the ground and lift your entire body off the mat, balancing on your arms. As you visualize yourself as a rooster, breathe calmly through your nose, leading the prana along your spine in Sahadra Kumbhaka.
पद्मासनं सुसंस्थाप्य नान्वोरोरन्तरे करौ.
From Kukutasana, place your hands in front of you, raise up onto your knees in Padmasana. Keep your fingers pointing towards your body as you lean your navel onto your elbows and lift your knees off the ground, balancing on your arms as you visualize yourself as a rooster in visualize Swamiji in Badhakikyasana.
धरामोष्टभिकरद्वयेन तत्कूर्परिस्थापितानाभिपाशः.
Now extend your legs. Keep your hands on the ground, fingers pointing backwards. Navel on your elbows. Lean forward, find balance, and lift your legs off the mat straight as you visualize yourself as a peacock in Mayurasana.
अथ भक्षे महादेव मयूरासनमुत्तमम्.
Now place your body down, flat on the ground. Bring your feet on the mat with the toes pointing outwards, heels on the ground. Interlock your fingers around your neck and place your forehead on the ground as you visualize yourself as a crocodile in Makarasana.
अध्यासशेते हृदयं निधाय भूमौ च पादौ च प्रसार्यमानो.
Now place your hands on the ground next to your shoulders and lift your legs off the mat. Engage your lower back and glutes as you visualize yourself as a locust in Shalabhasana.
अध्यासशेते करयुग्मवक्षो भूमिमवष्टभ्य करयो स्थलाभ्याम्.
Now bend your knees, hold onto the feet and pull them outside the hips down on the ground as you visualize yourself as a camel in Ushtrasana.
अध्यासशेते पदयुग्मव्यस्तं पृष्ठे निधायापि धृतं कराभ्याम्.
Now kick your legs back and up, still holding onto the feet as you lift your head and chest as well. Gaze to your third eye and visualize yourself as Pinaka, Lord Shiva's bow in Dhanurasana.
प्रसार्य पादौ भुजदण्डरूपौ करौ च पृष्ठे धृतपादयुग्मम्.
Next up is Bhagasana. Come to a kneeling posture. Bring your heels outside the hips. Sit on the ground with the toes touching behind your back. Keep your hands on the knees, gaze to your third eye, visualize Swamiji, and internally chant the new japa, Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham.
उल्टा मोड़ी पाव दो वैसे बहुरो जुगति करे एक ऐसे.
We're now going to move on to the next inverted posture of the sequence. So set yourself up in front of a wall. Ask a partner to assist you in this asana. As you place your forearms on the ground, elbows shoulder width apart, interlock your fingers, place your head on the mat supported with your hands. As you raise your hips, walk your feet forward, and then lift your legs off the mat. Pull your knees towards your chest in this asana. Squeeze your body into a ball as you gaze to your third eye and visualize Swamiji in Gohya asana.
दो हाथ की कहुनी जोजी पुनः कलाई जाने दो ये.
Now extend your legs upwards. Keep your body straight in Shirshasana as you gaze to the nose and visualize Swamiji in your inner space.
विपरीतं मण्डलं च द्विधैव विदितं हिनः.
Gently lower your body down. Now come to a seated posture with your legs extended at the front. We are going to enter a sequence of rapid exhalations and intense ab exercise. Get ready to breathe in Bhastika Kumbhaka. Exhale from your navel, pushing the air out again and again like the bellows of a blacksmith. Don't inhale. Let the air flow back into your lungs naturally. Hold onto your calves and lift your legs up vertically in front of you as you visualize Swamiji in Bodhi Asana.
दो हाथ पग बाहर आने, घोड़ा तरे का कसी ठाने.
Now bring your hands behind your back. Hold on to opposite shoulders as you keep your legs extended forward and up. Gaze to your third eye. Exhale rapidly and visualize yourself as a mace in Bharikasana.
उत्तानं शयनं कृत्वा पादौ मिलित्वा प्रसार्य.
Now extend your arms out forward. Parallel to the ground, your legs up at a 45-degree angle. Gaze to your third eye, visualize yourself as a boat and breathe in Bhastika Kumbhaka and Naukasana.
उत्तान शयनं कुर्पराभ्यां भूमिं वष्टभ्यां.
Now scoop your hands below the feet and pull them against your chest. As you gaze to the nose, breathe rapidly in Bhastika Kumbhaka and visualize yourself as Lord Rudra in Rudrasana.
पगतली संपूट करी हाथस्य पग ऊंचाई.
Now breathe calmly. Lay down on your back and keep your feet flat on the ground with the knees raised. Place your palms on the ground behind your heels and push your hips up as you engage the Mula Bandha and the Jalandhara Bandha, the throat lock. As you breathe in Mocha Kumbhaka, push the air out as you keep the Jalandhara Bandha engaged during the exhalation. Gaze to your nose and visualize Swamiji in Unmukha Pitasana too.
ऊर्ध्वे च जानूनि कृत्वा शवित्वोर्ध्वमुखं तथा.
Now lay down flat on your back. Keep your hands at the side of the hips, palms facing up. Perform the Shakti Chalan Mudra. Forcefully pull the Kundalini Shakti up along your spine from the Muladhara all the way to the Sahasrara Chakra. Relax. Visualize your body is dead. And the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Swamiji, is liberating you as you internally chant Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham in Shivasana.
उत्तानं शववद्भूमौ शयनं तोषवासनं. शवासनं श्रान्तिहरं चित्तविश्रान्तिकारणम्.
I bless you all. Let you all open all your three eyes and manifest the powers of Mahasadashiva. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. 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 Om Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda 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 Paramashivoham. Om Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda 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 Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda.
Now, slowly return to your physical body. Start to wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes, rotate your wrists and your ankles, move your legs, shake your body, pull your knees up against your chest, and rotate your body from side to side. Rock yourself up into a comfortable seated position. Congratulations, you completed the Pratama Vinyasa Krama 108 asana sequence. With this, we conclude today's Nithyananda Yoga session for all the Paramashivoham Level 1 participants. Thank you all so much for joining, sincerely participating in this ritual of yoga. The next Acharya is going to start the session very soon, so stay tuned. For the Paramashivoham Level 2 and 3 participants, let us now move on to the next asana of the sequence, which is Yathasana Ishtasana. Sit in any posture that brings ease to your physical and mental space, any comfortable posture. Take your favorite position. Place your hands on the knees in Bindu Mudra, index fingers and thumbs together. As you visualize Swamiji in your inner space, breathe in Samana Kumbhaka. Fill your stomach with prana, visualizing a flame rising up your spine. Engage the Mula Bandha and internally chant the Mahavakya Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham, which is going to be the japa for the remainder of this sequence.
पर्यङ्कं तत्समाख्यातं यतसंस्थं यथा स्थितिः.
Next up is Samasana in a cross-legged position with your hands on the knees in Bindu Mudra. Start inhaling and exhaling deeply. Inhale all the way. Exhale all the way again and again as you visualize Swamiji in your inner space.
इदानीं गर्भिणीनां योगाभ्यासो यथा लघु सुखप्रसवलाभाय प्रोच्यते प्राक्तने पथि.
Now, bring the left heel against the perineum and place the right foot on top of the left. Keep your hands flat on the knees as you gaze to the nose and visualize yourself as a sage liberated by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism in Muktasana.
निपीड्य सीविनीं सूक्ष्मां दक्षिणेतरगुल्फतः.
Next up is Siddhasana. Maintain the same posture, shift your gaze up towards your third eye and visualize Swamiji in your inner space.
स्थानोत्सम्यमितेन्द्रियो चलदृशा पश्यन् भ्रुवोरन्तरं चैतन्मोक्षकपातभेदजनकं सिद्धासनं प्रोच्यते.
Next up is Siddhi Asana. Now shift your gaze down to the ground in front of you. Engage all Tribandhas, Mahamudra Bandha and visualize Swamiji in your inner space.
वामपादके इडीजानो सीवनिमधितासुकोठानो.
Now rotate your hands on top of the knees into Bindu Mudra. Gaze up towards your third eye and visualize yourself as Lord Rudra in Rudrasana too.
वामचरण परिदक्षिण राखे एकजुगति ऐसे विदिदाखे.
Next up is Santadhunasana. Maintain the posture, hands on the knees in Bindu Mudra, gaze to your nose and embody tranquility and an unshakable nature.
आसन की गुण मन की चंचलता मीट.
Next up is Siddhasana too. Now bring your hands in front of your navel, cup one palm over the other in Samputa Mudra, resembling a lotus flower as you visualize Swamiji in your inner space.
ऋजुकाय समासीना सिद्धासनमुदीरितं प्रसार्य भुवि पादौ तु दोर्भ्यामङ्गुष्ठमादरात्.
Next up is Bandha Yoni Asana. As you maintain your legs in the same position, set the Sankalpa to manifest through the womb of creation and get ready to enter Shanmukhi Mudra. Now inhale as deep as you can. Hold your breath, hold the lungs full of air, and then close your mouth with your little fingers, your nostrils with your ring fingers, your eyes with your index and middle fingers, and your ears with your thumbs.
यत्र मध्ये महादेव बन्धयोन्यासने शृणु.
The next asana is Vedasana. Now place one foot on top of the opposite thigh and the other foot below the opposite thigh. As you keep your hands on the knees in Bindu Mudra.